Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2021 Chevy Camaro RS. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with the Camaro. Check out their inventory and link below. Let's get straight into the video. Have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 22 around town and then 30 on the highway, with power outputs being 275 horsepower and then 295 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go to the front end of the RS. First off, I love the blue paint on this particular car. Now we've got the signature Camaro headlights, full LEDs with the LED accent light that kind of comes up and around. We've got our RS logo, blacked out grille with the blacked out Chevy bow tie. And overall, things aren't too complicated, nothing crazy happening on the hood, but you know, it's got some nice lines and everything and looks good. Now coming on the side here, we've got two 45mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And they've gone for just a full chrome wheel here on the RS, but notice that that little portion right there is blacked out. We've got our normal Camaro logo there on the side. And other than that, again, pretty simple, nothing crazy happening on the side. Now let's pop here into the trunk area of the RS. You guys can see storage space back here, pretty good. And this is where the window sticker is. Definitely could have used that a little bit earlier. But other than that, yeah, storage space back here is pretty good. And don't worry, we'll look at the window sticker in a little bit. Now let's finish things up here in the rear. So first off, we've got these signature lights that come with the Camaro. We've got our RS badge, and then we've got the two exhaust tips there out the back. And again, everything is pretty simple. We do have a really small low profile spoiler as well, but it's body painted, so it kind of flies under the radar. So here's the door panel in the front. So notice we've got this beautiful brown leather here. We're going to rest your arm. And we've got that just to open up the trunk. The window controls. It does come with the Bose sound system. And then here are the seats in the front. So again, full brown leather. We've got nice perforated leather here in the center portion. Bolstering's really nice. They are automatically adjustable. And yes, the Camaro still does have back seats. They're tiny. I'd reserve them for kids, or if you put adults back there, don't keep them back there for long because it's pure torture. But if you do pull down the seats, you can hear the exhaust a little bit better. Anyways, that's the front seats. Here's the pedals just down below. Steering wheel is manually adjustable, and there's one more look before we pop in. So here's our steering wheel in the RS. So first off, we've got full black leather. We've got the brown contrasted stitching that matches the seats. We've got some controls for the center stack, paddles on the back, and then our volume controls right down here. Obviously, it says Camaro on the front. And then we've got our cruise control. You've got little stock there for the windshield wipers, and then light and turn signal stock on the other side. And then here is the center gauge cluster. So analog gauges for most of the stuff, and then you do have that screen there in the center, which you can scroll through a couple different menus. And then we've got some different drive modes. So we've got our touring, sports, and our snow and ice. Sports, the drive mode, you're probably going to want to drive it in most of the time so you can have a little bit of fun. And then here's the infotainment system. You guys know I'm a huge fan of this system. First off, response time on it is great. And then on top of that, camera system is also good. Resolution's really good with the camera. Sorry about all the glare, but it's just that time of the day. And it does come with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Analog controls just down below. We've got dual zone climate here, heated and cooled seats here for the front passengers, which is definitely nice. And then you guys notice the venting right here. This is how you change the temperature. You guys know I'm a huge fan of that. It's just a cool little quirk with the Camaros. Got the nice shifter here, which has leather on it, and then it does have plus and minus to shift the gears yourself if you do want to. You've got stability control, the drive mode select, parking brake is right here, more leather with stitching. You can see that whole system's nice, and then there's even leather here on this part of the dash with more stitching goes across. Got the glove box, and finishing things up, well, we've got a sunroof and the light controls, all black headliner, and that's all. Here's our window sticker again for the 2021 Camaro 2LT. Feel free to freeze the frame if you want to see all of the standard equipment that comes with the car. And then, well, I got to pull it over into the shade so you guys can see the optional equipment. Not sure if I'd spend $14.95 on the wheels this has. I'd probably just keep the RS wheels, but that's just me. You can see the total MSRP, $35,330. Let's take her out and see how she drives. Well, let's go over visibility before we set off. You guys can see visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, and then the rest of the rear. Let's set off. We are setting off here in the RS with the turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder. Definitely feels weird to drive a quote-unquote muscle car, right, with a little 4-cylinder engine, but you know what? I'm gonna be open-minded to it and let you guys know what it actually is all about. So first off, just like all the other Camaros, great steering feel. You can actually feel what's happening with the front of the car, and the steering's very direct with the Camaros. There's a little bit of on-center deadness, but once you get past that, super direct and definitely great from a steering perspective. Brakes are really good as well, so that's definitely another high point. And this transmission is actually pretty good at keeping the engine in the power band, so you get torque all the time. Yeah, turn in is great. That's one of the big benefits of the Camaros. It just turns in so good. Feels weird to have a little bit of turbo lag with the Camaro, I will admit that. Comfortable from a suspension standpoint. This does have the sport suspension. And yeah, I mean, overall, it's great. It's comfortable. It's pretty quiet as well. And I mean, just kind of like getting up and going up a little bit around town. No complaints with that 2-liter. Definitely, I guess the one thing that it does leave from a desire perspective is the noise. It doesn't sound nearly as good as a V8, but I mean, that's expected. We're in the manual mode, going over the train tracks. Yeah, I love the steering on this, and we'll punch it. Doesn't sound too bad for a little 4-banger, really doesn't. Acceleration isn't crazy, but I guess the benefit is you can actually use the power, especially like the ZL1 model. You really can't use it on road. It's just too much power. The SS is more usable, but you'll kind of burn through the rubber, right? Whereas this, you can floor it and it's not really gonna spin with the tires in the back end, and so you can actually use the power and you're not gonna just be spinning all over the place either. So pretty good balance there. And again, the sound isn't horrible, but again, driving a V8 Camaro, like compared to this, like it's just, there's no comparison in terms of the sound. The V8 just sounds so much better. And I guess that'll get me into summing things up. So where I really see this standing is if you want like an economical Camaro, I guess, right? Because it's gonna get good fuel economy. And on top of that, right, it's got a lower cost of entry to get like a loaded up car like this. Really nice interior, by the way, for a muscle car. And it's great around town. It's a great daily driver Camaro. It just doesn't have the same level of excitement that the V8 Camaro has. And so if you're looking for basically just the Camaro looks, and you want something that gets good fuel economy, it's not going to break the bank from a purchase perspective, that's where this comes in. But just understand, you're kind of limited in, I guess, the excitement with the car, because it's just not the same as the V8 model from a sound perspective or just from a driving perspective. Does pretty good. You get some turbo noise, though. It's so weird to have turbo noise in a muscle car. Some people are going to say sacrilege in the comments. I can already see it, but you know, this thing's still really nice. I like it. That's going to sum things up for our video on this 2021 Chevy Camaro RS. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with the Camaro. Check out the inventory link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.